CM Punk and Roman Reigns are back to physicality, but Brock Lesnar and Obafemi are not. The irresistible forces are on the show. Stephanie McMahon, of all people, gives Cody Rhodes advice for new WrestleMania matches and so much more. This is the Raw recap on WWE Now, of Fanatics and WWE original production. Megan, we could begin in so many different places on this Madison Square Garden Raw. First of all, we are here in the world's most famous arena, bringing you WWE Now Raw recap from Madison Square Garden, and there was no better place to be to feel all that energy tonight. I mean, this is one of those nights where we could start this conversation with the end of Raw.
Or the beginning.
We could start it with the beginning of Raw.
I was ready to break down and just do a podcast right then and there with the beginning of Raw.
We absolutely could have. But the energy is so fresh. We just walked off the arena floor into the WWE Now studios that they have built for us in Madison Square Garden. I believe this is a permanent installation, so that's very, very exciting. But I've got to tell you, I'm sitting there tonight, and I'm watching what's going down between Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And I've got to tell you, if in 2012, 2011, 2013, you had told me that there would be a day where Roman Reigns and CM Punk were going to headline WrestleMania, and I would find myself naturally, firmly on the side of Roman Reigns, I would have thought you were crazy. I couldn't have been a bigger CM Punk fan. I couldn't have been, through the rise of Roman Reigns, a bigger Roman Reigns denier. But something happened with this bloodline run where I'm sitting there annoyed, angry, dismayed at Roman Reigns taking that power bomb through the table. I am so on Roman Reigns' side going into WrestleMania.
Punk's entrance.
Like, why would he interrupt?
You were annoyed when the entire crowd started chanting CM Punk.
During the Tribal Chief's acknowledgement, yes, I was annoyed when Madison Square Garden was chanting CM Punk. And by the way, Madison Square Garden, for years and years and years and years, whether CM Punk has been in the building or not, have chanted CM Punk. I have chanted CM Punk. I'm one of these fans that would go to a WWE show when CM Punk wasn't working in WWE and sit in Madison Square Garden and chant CM Punk when he wasn't coming out. And now that he actually is coming out, I'm going, how dare you chant CM Punk's name? The Tribal Chief is in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting your perspective, because I think week after week, I've flip-flopped sides.
I love to hear
After last week, I go, I'm 100% cheering for Roman Reigns.
Right.
Tonight, CM Punk makes his entrance. As soon as the music hits, something was different. And maybe it was the pace in which CM Punk made his way down the ramp. And there was no stopping. This was physicality right away. Roman's jacket's off. They're like, fists are flying.
No words.
No words needed.
Right. I mean, even Punk coming out with that fist taped up. I mean, there's something very old school about Punk coming out. He called himself middle-aged and crazy last week, like Terry Funk.
And when I saw him making his way to the ring with
the taped fist,
I said, that's my guy. And last week I said,
Megan.
Roman's my guy.
Okay.
So this WrestleMania match, though, I think a lot of people have found themselves kind of a rock and a hard place.
Right.
Where you're like, I loved CM Punk. I chanted for CM Punk when he was away for 10 years. But after the Bloodline era and what Roman Reigns did, how could you not put your one up for the Tribal Chief?
And I get it. And I get all the emotion, and I get all the fun that everybody's having. I get why you would be flip-flopping. I think a lot of people are flip-flopping because, honestly, like, just listening to the sounds, it's the same people that are cheering for Roman Reigns that are chanting CM Punk.
Of course.
It's just the building does what the building does because you've got two of the most popular superstars of the modern era.
And they both make us feel.
Absolutely. And they've made a career of making us feel. That's why it feels different when those two are in the ring versus everything else on the show, even on a show as loaded as Monday Night Raw was tonight. But I think that I came to this realization where I go, no. This is where I land, regardless of how long I spent as a CM Punk fan. It could be CM Funk with the Terry Funk
Why not?
references. But as long as I've been a CM Punk fan, watching, and I know I'm a grown man. This isn't an appropriate thing, maybe, but it is just how I feel, and we can share this with each other. That's the beauty of the Raw recap. When I saw CM Punk standing on top of that guardrail of the wall and slapping five with the people in the front row, the Lin-Manuel Mirandas of the world, going like, how fun is this, guys? What a great time we're all having. Look at what I've done to the tribal chief. Let's all have a great time and maybe go out and hang after this. I go, what are you all smiling about? That's the guy that put food on our table. That's the guy that ran everything in the WWE and brought it to its highest possible era. That's the guy. We are all sitting there in Madison Square Garden. And what does Raw start with? Boom, boom, that Netflix sound. Mm-hmm. Why do we get on Netflix? Because of what the Tribal Chief brought us on programming week after week after week. And then CM Punk, he plays this manipulative game, okay? I'm watching this happen in real time. And I'll tell you, it's still under my skin what Big E said on Raw Recap last week. It bothered me. Remember when I had to take the shot at him?
Yes, about throwing pancakes.
About throwing pancakes in the New Day and everything.
That was low.
Well, listen.
Usually when they go low, you go high. You also went low.
I went low.
It was
when
out of
he went
character
low,
for
I
you.
said, well, how much? I didn't know. Good, I'll jump in the pit with you. We're going lower. Because he said, well, it did kind of prove CM Punk's point that, Roman couldn't do anything without the bloodline. And then I watched tonight. And it's like, whoa, Roman didn't have the bloodline with him. Roman didn't have the Usos. Exactly.
And what happened to him? And did it hurt even more because all last week, for 7 days, you were going around being like, he's back, smash them all, stack them all.
You see what he did to Adam Pearce?
He's 100% back.
He broke Petey Williams in half. He's back.
The problem is, though, he's not facing Adam Pearce or Petey Williams at WrestleMania.
Okay,
That's the problem.
you're doing some of that Big E stuff now. You get me so upset. Listen, last week proved nothing. CM Punk manipulated the whole situation.
He was sitting there laughing with a smile on his face.
Because he knew what he did. He put the Usos in this position.
Pushed all of Jay's buttons.
He pushed every Jay button. Jay has to come out, and then CM Punk goes, oh, look, Jay's out here. Must be because Roman sent him. It's like, no, dude, you were just pushing his buttons. Then tonight, I'm watching these officials, and they're all getting involved. CM Punk was about to go through that table. And Danilo and the rest of them.
It's interesting. I bring up corruption with referees, and I'm crazy, and you bring it up, and now it's...
Well, it was also the officials.
Okay.
It wasn't just the referees. It was the officials, too. Tugging on the legs. Oh, let's not let this thing happen. Let's not let that thing happen. Adam Pearce, trying to keep all these WrestleMania matches out of the ring. It's not going to happen. You're not going to keep these guys from not touching each other until WrestleMania. But there's no way that CM Punk did this without an assist. There's no way that CM Punk put Roman Reigns through that table without some. And I understand. You go, oh, well, they were stopping CM Punk from doing stuff too. That's all fine and good. But this has no bearing on the story of Roman Reigns not being able to do it without help. Okay? Because tonight wasn't an example of CM Punk and Roman Reigns without help. There was a whole bunch of suits and striped shirts. And I say this metaphorically because the stripes aren't on the shirts. No, I understand that. It's a metaphor. Zebras. And not Zebros because they're dead.
They are dead.
The Zebros.
Done.
That was Punk and Roman.
Finished.
But there were so many people out there stopping this thing from happening that Punk was just able to find that pocket to take advantage of the situation. And then he jumped up on the guardrail and started slapping hands.
But with two superstars like this, that's all it's going to take is finding the pocket to take advantage of.
But that pocket's not going to be there at WrestleMania. Because Roman Reigns is there. If Roman Reigns didn't have to spear Petey Williams out of his shoes,
he would have had another spear in him, and that would have been Punk?
Punk would have already been through the table. He would have already been through the table again. Because Punk tried to get the best of Roman Reigns in the ring.
I feel like you're getting very defensive because we're less than 3 weeks away from WrestleMania, and the momentum seems to have shifted heavily in Punk's favor.
No, we're not doing this week-to-week thing. Okay,
you're not keeping score?
No. Because when they were in the ring...
Are you not keeping score because Roman's losing? Or are we not keeping score because we're not keeping score?
You think just because you can run a mile in 5:57... over and over again. I swear I was tracking it at home. And I said, I can't believe what Megan is doing right now.
You were rooting for me to fall off. Screwed up.
No. But it was an incredible accomplishment what you did.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But I'll tell you this. Petey Williams wasn't holding onto your ankle while you were running, was he? And if he
No.
was, you wouldn't have been able to hit that 5:57, would you?
No.
You'd accomplish an incredible feat over the weekend. That's the type of person you are. You sit there and you run a marathon, 26 miles, 0.2,
Thank you.
at 5:57 a mile, and then you wake up the next day, you do a podcast about Monday Night Raw. It's an incredible thing. But this is the level that I like to be around, which is why I love Roman Reigns so much. Because this is the level that the tribal chief plays at, and this narrative that is structured, where you've got Adam Pearce doing this and Petey. Who did CM Punk have to hit? No one. Roman Reigns had to spear Petey Williams and punch Adam Pearce in the face because they wouldn't leave him alone. When they were in the ring, you want to keep score, when they were in the ring, just the two of them, who dominated in the ring, just the two of them before they went to the outside of the ring?
Roman.
Okay, so there's your score. That's the score. That's when it's just the two of them. Punk had his fist all taped up, had his championship off, had the whole thing, he was ready to go. But when it was just the two of them, Roman's the one who had it.
Well, Roman's going to have to tell himself that tonight when he puts his head on the pillow because...
Bro, I don't know if Roman is sleeping tonight. And I stayed up there until it was all cleared out.
You did.
And Roman Reigns, the look of anger on Roman Reigns' face, sitting in that chair realizing what had happened, that the night didn't go the way it was supposed to go. You know Roman, he visualizes these nights. He has his systems in place. Roman's not the type of guy who takes a beating and then I'm having a crisis of conscience. I don't know if I can actually do this. Roman's the type of guy who takes a beating and just, you have no idea what you just did to yourself. You have because you're right. It is 3 weeks until WrestleMania, but that's 3 weeks for Roman Reigns to think about what happened here. I wouldn't have wanted to give Roman Reigns 3 weeks to think about this outcome and then get to WrestleMania and go, well, guess what I'm going to have to do to avoid that outcome? I don't like how that feels. I'm going to have to smash them all. And everybody's going to be staying away when it's the main event of WrestleMania. There's no tomorrow when it's the main event of WrestleMania. And if there's no tomorrow, I think that's Roman Reigns all day.
But do you think at all, to take the side of CM Punk, do you think at all you're overlooking him?
I don't. For me, no. I love CM Punk. I've been to how many shows have we watched together?
You have a little Sam that is dressed up.
What's he
with
wearing?
the
What
CM
shirt's he
Punk
wearing?
T-shirt.
When I got an action figure that had Sam with hair, I said, well, Sam with hair didn't like suits that much. What should I dress Sam with hair in?
A CM Punk T-shirt.
Right.
Because that's what Sam with hair used to wear.
Sam with hair loved his CM Punk T-shirts. Sam with no hair loved CM Punk T-shirts. But not this year. Any other year. Not this year. Not this year. SummerSlam. CM Punk versus Gunther. Me and you were standing right there together. I'm singing every word to Cult of Personality. Mm-hmm. But it's 2026, and things have evolved to the point where I'm sitting there going, no, Roman has to do it. Roman has to do it.
I just keep thinking back to all of the interactions, right? And Roman got the better of Punk when Roman went there and called CM Punk old. But every other interaction that they've had, even when Roman speared CM Punk and was reminded by Jey Uso to smash them all, how did we end Monday Night Raw? With CM Punk having a smile on his face.
Okay, but CM Punk's smile on his face, the only way you could shoot it was down because he was laying on the ground in a pile of rubble. I'm not impressed by somebody smiling after they get their you-know-what handed to them.
But
Roman,
somehow or another you see Roman Reigns through a table today and you're still manipulating the situation to the point where you're impressed by Roman Reigns?
We'll never not be impressed with Roman Reigns. I'm standing Roman Reigns right now. I don't think I'm impressed by him. I'm standing him hard.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. At WrestleMania, if CM Punk is on the ground and he's smiling and Roman Reigns is holding the championship,
doesn't mean nothing.
Enjoy your smile. Enjoy it. Have a great time with yourself. Roman's walking home with the title. I just got frustrated when he was standing up on that. CM Punk standing on that guardrail, slapping fives. Look what I did. Let's all have a great time. I was like, no. That's Roman Reigns.
You took that personally.
I did. I was Michael Jordan with an iPad. Okay? Mm-hmm. This was the last dance. I took that personally. And I hope If I had any access to Roman Reigns, he has made sure that I have to stay very far away from him because he thinks this is getting a little unhealthy. But if I did have any access to him, I would put this on an iPad and I would show it to him every single day. Every day. Because that look that he had on his face after Raw went off the air, that I'm sure will be, if it isn't already, all over social media. That's the look that I want my tribal chief to have going into WrestleMania.
You really have quite the ability to spin this as a positive for Roman Reigns.
I'm a positive guy. I'm an eternal optimist.
I love that about you.
Well, listen.
I think that's great.
I feel like there's a lot to celebrate on Monday Night Raw, especially on this road to WrestleMania. And one great way to celebrate it is through WWE Shop. Of course, Stephanie Vaquer
Oh, yeah.
had a massive moment on Monday Night Raw coming in, and she said it was on site. Liv Morgan, she came in. She beat up Liv Morgan before Roxanne Perez returned. But La Primera is at the top of the women's division, and you can show your support for the Dark Angel and reigning women's world champion by grabbing her new tees, available now at WWE Shop and Fanatics. And I don't know if you noticed this watching Raw, but it looked the line around the ring. You can now, and this is not just you, WWE fans have the chance to get closer to the action than ever before with your name on the canvas.
Oh, that's cool.
Name on Canvas is an exclusive opportunity to have your name immortalized in WWE history. Purchase your spot for night 1 or night 2 of WrestleMania 42 and watch WWE superstars compete above your name. Visit WWE Shop and Fanatics to secure your spot now. And I mean, I think back to WrestleMania 12. That's the first time I recall that they put out that plaque with Shawn Michaels as the new champion and a little piece of the canvas that came with the plaque. And I remember even as a 12-year-old kid going, oh, my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Imagine if that little piece of canvas had Not Sam written on it. I mean, for you guys, it could be whatever you want, but for me, it would be Not Sam. So take advantage of that opportunity. Imagine there's a piece of a canvas that says Megan Morant. And that canvas is being walked upon, slammed upon, sweated upon, perhaps even bled upon by Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi. I tell you, there is something different about Brock Lesnar walking to the ring in his gear.
100%.
Brock Lesnar walking ready for a fight.
You instantly notice it.
Instantly. And you
Yes.
go like, this is, destruction.
Yes.
Is what you think
You
of.
see the body, you see,
Oh.
the veins are popping out. He's juiced up. He's ready to go.
He is jacked. Brock Lesnar comes out in his gear, ready to go. Enough of the being caught off guard, as he says. Mm-hmm. First week for sure was caught off guard.
I do love this about Paul Heyman because we remember the first week was caught off guard. There was a lot going on before Oba got there, and Oba took advantage of the situation. And I was wondering how Paul Heyman is going to spin this to let us know that last week Oba once again, he might have got the better of Brock, but there's an asterisk. And
Yes.
It was because Brock wasn't in his gear and he wasn't ready to fight.
He was
And
in his
I
cowboy
overlooked
jeans.
that.
Yeah,
I overlooked it.
you did.
Yeah, because I've seen Cowboy Brock,
Right.
be
Right.
just as dangerous before.
I would say that, yeah, you or I don't think would do very well against Brock Lesnar, whether he was
It
wearing
doesn't matter
jeans.
what we're
it would-
wearing.
yeah. He could
We're
be wearing
screwed.
anything. He could be wearing a children's Halloween costume. It would be bad news for us.
Not good.
But I guess with Oba Femi, things are a little bit different because Brock comes out, he's in his gear, and Paul Heyman starts with this conversation about the fact that he predicts that Oba Femi will soil himself at WrestleMania. Soil himself is what Paul
Oh, but
Heyman
doesn't really strike me as a guy who
soils.
soils himself. No.
Oba doesn't strike you. Who's somebody that strikes you as somebody who might soil themselves?
Maybe you.
Okay, that was. I shouldn't have asked. That one's on me. I wouldn't. But,
If Brock walked into this room right now, I think there's
yeah. I think that-
75% chance.
Honestly, remember that time Braun Breaker was on the show and he threw that water bottle at me?
I
I do
do,
think
yeah.
there was some soiling that happened in that instance. So you're actually, well, I guess once again Megan's right, but Oba then comes out. First of all, I love whenever Brock Lesnar speaks into a microphone, it's trouble because he doesn't have to. That's the thing about Brock; he doesn't have to speak into the microphone. So the fact that Paul Heyman was doing his haikus about Obafemi soiling himself, Brock snatches the mic and goes, "Get out here, Oba. Get out here." Just calls him right out. And it's Adam Pearce and it's security that comes out. And man, Oba comes out. And by the way, Oba has not been one-upped this entire time.
Nope.
Oba's in his gear. Oba goes, "Okay, you want to fight? This is what I fight in." Oba's wearing his gear when he comes out. And
the entrance gets better and better, too.
It
By the
really
way,
does.
it's my favorite thing in wrestling right now.
The Oba entrance?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Amazing.
They, what's that? Aura?
Yep, that's what the kids say.
I can't imagine the level. I mean, if you could quantify aura, I can't. Like anybody even coming close to what Obafemi has is incredible. And it's just in that. You're so right. It's just in that like shadowed silhouette at the very beginning.
The pause. You hear the
Yeah.
drums. There's the pause. And the pause each week gets a little longer to me. And I don't know if that's just because I'm so excited to see Oba. But then the smoke appears, the silhouette, the body, and then we all do the Oba arms.
You have to. There's just something about it. Where
Doesn't
before
matter how old you
Obafemi,
are, how young you are, you're doing the arms.
you or I walking into a room like this, people would think we were nuts.
And now everybody says,
There's
right on.
a couple confident people walking in here is what they say now. I wouldn't mess with either of those two.
Yeah.
That's what they say when we walk in like that now. And Obafemi has done that.
and Adam Pearce, he's down there with security and everybody. And as soon as I see the security, I'm like, all these guys are screwed because Brock Lesnar is going to F5 every single one of them. And
FAF5 them?
yeah, I was completely wrong because Oba took care of them first.
Well, you weren't completely wrong because one of them did catch an additional F5.
That is true.
But
That
yeah,
is true.
I mean, that saying thrown around like a rag doll, I think has been overdone in professional wrestling. But I also don't know if it was ever more fitting than what Oba was doing to those security guards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't imagine what they're used to securing, but I don't know that any of them will ever be standing up
Yeah, it
after
ain't
what
that.
Oba did to
It
them.
ain't that.
Just throwing them into those guardrails and picking that one up in the air and just spinning him to
Mm-hmm.
the side like he was nothing. I mean, this is Obafemi and Brock Lesnar are two absolute superhumans.
Behemoths.
And even Adam Pearce can't stop them. But we saw a rare appearance of Triple H. Triple H leaving his position that we see on Unreal when he's in Gorilla and he's got the headset on. Triple H realizing that he's the only one that might command enough respect for them to realize, no, this is serious. You can't do this right now. And I think on one end, of course, they're trying to protect this WrestleMania match. They want it to get in the ring. But the other end is it's like once these two go at it, it's over. You know what I mean? Once these two are really ready and really get their hands on each other, who knows what's going to be left standing? But I just the visual of Oba and Brock both in the ring, both in their gear, slowly drifting towards each other, and Triple H having to be like he had to get his arm in between them. It's just so massive. You know, a lot of times when Paul Heyman says things, you kind of roll your eyes at the hyperbole
Sure.
that he likes to engage in. But Paul Heyman going the real main event of WrestleMania, it kind of makes people go, yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? As loaded as WrestleMania is, as much as there is to say about Cody and Randy, which we'll get into, as much as there is to say about Punk and Roman, which we were just talking about, it's just the you can hear it, the sound, the energy that emanates from these two beasts being in the ring together is something very, very special.
I cannot wait till they're in Vegas together. I mean, in a way, it's anytime they get close to each other, I want to see it now.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, let them go.
And there's
But
2 more weeks of Raw. There's 2
Yes.
more episodes of Raw before WrestleMania.
Yes.
Like, what Adam Pearce is going to have to get an army. I don't know what he thinks he's going to do. Clearly, the security guard thing isn't going to work. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not going to work for a lot of people. They did a really not great job. Whatever Adam Pearce, he's not doing a great job with his security of keeping people
It's
from
going to be
beating
hard to
each other
find
up.
people, too, right?
I mean, watching that, anybody? Oh,
You
yeah,
want
yeah.
me to do what?
Yeah, just show me. Is there any sort of tape? Let me familiarize myself with what the job is. Oh, no.
I'm not available.
No, I'm unavailable. I'm not going to be able to do that. I don't think Mike from Breaking Bad would take this job.
I don't know if there's any security guards qualified for the job.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think at this point they're just buffers. It's just like maybe if we can just put some mass in between these two, they won't destroy each other in real time.
Yeah, it's dangerous to put them anywhere near each other before the match.
Then, Paul Heyman's not done for the night. First of all, Paul Heyman always up to his tricks. I love these Paul Heyman tricks because Paul is able to orchestrate. I believe this was orchestrated. That Adam Pearce all night is going, hey, Paul, did you check your emails? Paul, did you check your emails? Paul, did you check your emails? And Paul's like, no, I don't read emails. No, I don't know anything about emails. An email? Who reads an email? I'm not going to check my emails. And you believe it, right? I believe that Paul, I'm not walking around checking emails.
No, lots of spam.
I mean, listen, right now, this is real life. You tell the fine people how many unread emails are on my phone.
Thousands.
1,871 unread emails. By the way, 1,785 unread texts. I guess I just don't communicate much. But that is true.
If you're trying to get a hold of Sam, don't.
Don't. I'm not around. But
Leaving you on red.
yeah. But I do believe that Paul Heyman checked his emails.
Yeah, he had to.
Because Adam Pearce comes out.
Because also Paul Heyman's the type of guy, I mean, there could be some good stuff in there. An opportunity, if you will.
Ooh, I love that.
And Paul's always looking for an opportunity.
Yeah.
He's always open for business.
Paul's a guy who's like this. I'll never say no to a conversation. Maybe there's something to discuss. I think Paul realized where the leverage was. Paul is the king of leverage. He talks about leverage with the Vision, which the Vision were able to gain leverage. Really interesting night. Starts with the Vision certainly gaining leverage by winning the tag team championship from the Usos. You know, there was some help from
Logan Paul's
ISHO
mom.
Speed and LA Knight. Logan Paul's mom. I mean, speaking of security, how did Logan Paul's mother sneak brass knuckles into Madison Square Garden?
You know, I got to give it to her. She's a real one because I don't know many mothers that would carry around brass knuckles for their son.
Mom, I just need you to bring the brass knuckles. Just please bring the brass knuckles, Mom.
She really loves him.
She does. She's honestly,
It's
she's
sort of admirable, right?
She's a great mom.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if I told my mom I needed brass knuckles snuck in, it's like, and she did it, I'm like, yeah, that's having a great mom. Somebody that's not going to ask a bunch of questions. Oh, boy, I don't know. Is that against the rules? Mom.
Come on.
She snuck him in. LA Knight gets him. ISHO Speed gets him. ISHO Speed knocks out LA Knight by mistake.
This is not good for iShow Speed.
Bad for ISHO Speed. Now
He's cursed, too.
He is cursed. He tried to get the curse removed.
I don't think it works like that.
Well, it does if you pay $10 billion. He said billion. He was going to go million. Danhausen has really unique negotiation strategies.
You talk about
he said,
Paul Heyman being a businessman.
well, he said 10 million, and then he didn't misspeak because he went 10 million. Actually, 10 billion. Right? Let's make it. That's just a huge leap. And then he also said he wanted full control over iShow Speed's social media and streaming. I believe he said streaming service, which makes me feel like that has not been fully researched because I don't think iShow Speed runs his own streaming service.
Yet.
But iShow, and he wanted the iShow Speed's camera guy as well. Mm-hmm. Speed said no.
Sorry, still
Danhausen
cursed.
said, well, then the curse remains. However, maybe he's not cursed because the Vision came to him and said, look, you got enemies now. Whether you want them or not, you've got enemies. And Paul Heyman saw the opportunity, to your point, Meg, and said, hey, just why don't you guys go out and celebrate? Paul knows what he's doing. He goes to the ring. He goes, I didn't check the email. And Adam Pearce says, well, then I got to tell you, Seth Rollins has not only been cleared of all charges by the Boston Police Department, but he's also medically cleared. Whoa, here comes Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins looking, this is how I envision Seth Rollins return from the beginning, almost with a John Wick vibe, with the suit on and everything. I love this version of Seth Rollins, John Wick, a crusader for revenge, much like Rollins is. But I think Paul Heyman was very prepared for this. Gunther shows up. Now, unless Gunther is just acting of his own volition, just going, hey, I need a WrestleMania match. I want to make an impression. I'm going to take out Seth Rollins. I wouldn't be surprised if Paul Heyman was somehow involved in facilitating that opportunity, because Seth Rollins ends up getting put to sleep immediately. Gunther points to that WrestleMania sign, and just like that, we got a graphic. People were wondering what Seth Rollins is going to do at WrestleMania. The questions have been going crazy.
Is Braun Breaker going to come back?
Is Braun Breaker going to come back? What's Gunther going to do at WrestleMania? I was listening to you on the radio asking that very question. Who's Gunther going to face at WrestleMania? And here's our answer. It's the two of them. Seth Rollins versus Gunther.
And
Is
this
it
feels like a
WrestleMania?
totally different scenario, because the Gunther that we've been used to seeing lately is the career killer Gunther.
Yeah.
And this doesn't feel that way
Well, look,
whatsoever.
do I think Seth Rollins is going to retire after WrestleMania? That would be hard for me to fathom. But if Seth Rollins has built his career right now around getting revenge against Paul Heyman, and he goes to WrestleMania and he loses against Gunther, it's kind of a killer. No,
Of course it is.
kind of hard to bounce back from that
Yeah.
if you're Seth Rollins.
Of course.
I'm very interested to see what Gunther's motivation is in this.
Mm-hmm.
If that, to your point, career killer thing does fit in, and what this looks like when it gets to WrestleMania. And also, how does Seth motivate himself? Seth has been so hell-bent on Heyman and Brock and this one and that one. Gunther hasn't even been on his radar,
No.
and now he's got less than 3 weeks to prepare for a WrestleMania match against, the ultimate spoiler in all of WWE.
And there's no question that Seth has a long list of enemies, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you go back and you think of the history he has with CM Punk.
Yeah.
You think of everything that's gone down with the Vision, everything that's gone down with Paul Heyman. Gunther, nowhere near the radar.
Yeah, we got to get to our first guest on WWE Now Raw recap, but
Before we get to that, there's something amazing coming this summer to the Big Apple. Coming back, it is the return of the #1 sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest.
Yes.
Returning to the Javits Center from July 16th through the 19th. 4 days.
Oh my
And big
gosh.
news for us, Sam, because Fanatics Games is back at Fanatics Fest, bringing high-stakes cross-sport competition where everyday fans go head-to-head with some of the biggest names in sports. We were judges in the competition last year, served an integral part in the competition, and this year the 2026 Fanatic Games introduces an expanded format, a $2 million total prize pool and new nationwide qualifying opportunities for fans to compete alongside elite athletes. The inaugural winner, Tom Brady, as well as reigning fan champion, Matt Denish, will be competing again. And WWE superstars Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso will be joining the competition for a shot at the title. Head on over to fanaticsfest.com to apply to compete or grab your tickets to Fanatics Fest. You do not want to miss out.
I hope Danhausen is competing, because that $2 million is Danhausen money, and I think he's very good at many sports.
It'd be great.
I think he did
Sports
really
housing.
well. Many moments are made at Fanatics Fest. That's where John Cena gave me the hug that, as we found out together here in this room, made not just my life, but his life as well.
Proud of you.
Let's see if we can, thank you for being proud of me. Let's see if we can keep making moments, because we'd like to welcome our guests here on WWE Now into our studio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE Now's Raw recap from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. The women who defended the WWE Tag Team Championship tonight. The Irresistible Forces are here. Ladies,
Yes.
welcome, and congratulations on walking out of Madison Square Garden still champions.
No doubt. We had no doubt about that.
Exactly.
But thanks, Sam.
Well, it wasn't. There was an interference involved. It was a disqualification.
He has to go.
What?
I
He
was
has to
gotta
go
say
there.
something.
He has to go there. Why do you have to go
I know
there?
it's ignorant.
But at the end of the day, who's still the champ?
No, that's why I said congratulations
Exactly.
on leaving
It
with.
should just be that. That's
Oh.
it.
And you
Period.
didn't
Thank
think?
you.
Did you have a doubt that if there was no interference, that we would have not won?
Exactly. Go ahead.
Is that
speak.
what you're
now
saying?
You can speak. What are you saying?
I don't.
It's a little disrespectful.
Yeah.
A
Well,
lot
thank
of.
you.
Listen
for
to the
contributing.
future
A
Olympian
little. Thank you.
over here.
I don't
Very
think.
much.
Not like you don't know nothing about
I don't
that.
think she's going to
You know
qualify.
nothing about
No, he didn't.
Here we go.
But that's
Here we
More
go.
disrespect. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
See?
That's neither here nor there. I mean, you find yourselves champions of the most competitive this division has ever been during a
true.
time where it's more dangerous to be a champion than ever. WrestleMania season. Does that concern you at all? Is there a pressure on representing this division?
No, absolutely not. I mean, have you not noticed that we clearly we're the irresistible forces, okay? A force to be reckoned with. And we are the most dominant, most grand tag team
Grand.
of all time. Of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're
so
very.
yes, wait, skirt. I wasn't there. Skirt. So skirt. So yes, it is a magnificent women's division, and we're proud to be a part of it. But we're carrying the titles for a reason in this grand women's division with the grandest tag team ever.
Do you remember how we won these, Sam? Lash Legend pin one of the greatest women wrestlers, Rhea Ripley.
I did.
Rhea Bloody
That's facts.
Ripley.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I
great
do
she
remember it.
is.
I remember we
I've
talked
got
about it on this
these.
show about what a
did,
big
yeah.
deal it was
Massive deal.
So
that you did that. That
No,
was-
we're
US
not
Diet
nervous
didn't
about it.
either.
we're meant for this. We're born for the stage.
Born, built, all of it.
WrestleMania needs us.
Love it.
When did you realize that Lash Legend was the partner that was going to take you? I mean, you've, Nia, had multiple tag team partners, but I feel like there is a chemistry with
call me
Lash Legend.
promiscuous?
What?
Chill, Sam.
Always gotta say
I
something
mean, like, it's
slick.
like the
Like, why you
underlying,
can't just ask, how is
like,
it
connotation you have
a
towards
tag
me.
team. That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
You just add the extra. We don't need that here, okay? We don't like that energy.
Sorry, I didn't. I'll try to keep my energy on track. It's
Yeah,
just
let's
a
do
matter
better.
of realizing, hey, we've got something special here.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's
is that
right. Yep.
Is that
Let's
like
stick
when
with
did
that.
you realize this is the person to create something so special with?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you know, actually, I've had my eye on Lash for a while now. I saw her down in NXT when she was teaming up with Jakara. They were a great tag team. I saw the powerhouse that Lash was, and just, you know, the energy she has, the look she has, the strength she has. I'm knowing her background, coming from such an athletic background, and knowing that she's just like the aggressiveness is in her. And then I had the opportunity to face her in NXT. You know, what better way to find out if she's capable of living up to the expectation that I have than getting in the ring with her? And not only did she meet it, but she exceeded it. And I thought, listen, I'd rather have this woman on my side than against me.
Smart.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the match at NXT, you know, against each other, but it was really good. And it was like, it was something that I never felt before, going against somebody, you know, so dominant, so amazing, very wise in the ring. Like, she knows exactly what she's doing, her psychology, just everything, all of it is amazing. So I was like, dang, you want to work with me? Like, work against me, I'll say. And yeah, it was like a really fun time. She beat me up, you know, we went back
You
and
beat
forth
each other
toe to
up,
toe,
yeah.
but you know, I learned so much, and I was just grateful after, you know, she wanted us to be together. I was like, yeah, of course. So that's how that happened.
Lash, you sit here now as a champion, and it wasn't long ago that you were playing, balling out in the WNBA, setting records in the NCAA. Now you're here at Madison Square Garden, walking in as a champ. We're in WrestleMania season. What has really the last couple months been like for you, not only to make your debut on the main roster, but also to be a champ?
Yeah, when you put it that way, it's just like, wow, I just sometimes sit back and be like, dang, I'm really doing this. And it's just, honestly, it's such a blessing. I'm so grateful. God has helped me get in the position that I am today. And, you know, it was just ordained. But I will say, like, I learned so much at NXT. And being down at NXT for about over 5 years, I felt like I was ready, you know, for this moment to come up. And yes, it seems like we're just going and it's fast track, but I feel like I'm, you know, ready and deserving of all of this. So yeah, it's going, but I've had so much fun, and I feel like every moment I am taking in all the moments, but also like I'm like, oh, I'm finna kill it, and like that's the mindset I have. And I feel like, you know, if you have that, you believe it, you see it, and you do it. So that's what it's been like for me in my journey so far.
And now, you know, a veteran in this locker room, you've been up against everybody that there is, but you know, there's something different when you look across the ring and they're Hall of Famers, like the Bella twins. So what has that been like, you know, mentoring Lash, working as a tag team together, and getting ready for those big situations?
Well, you know, I had no doubt when she came up that she would just blend right in, like that she was already ready to get in here and dominate. But Lash is she's a student of the game. She's so ready to, she's willing to listen, she's willing to learn. She is very confident in who she is, but she also is always open up to suggestions. So it's really like the easiest and smoothest transition for her to come up and work with us. And then being able to get in the ring with the Bella Twins, who haven't really wrestled as a tag team in like 8 years.
Yeah.
And for us to, I mean, to get in there and have a, I thought it was a great match. Their first match back, they
Yeah.
did incredible. I mean, granted, they're not getting our titles.
No, they're not.
But
kudos to them.
they really, kudos to them. They really showed out and did well. And, you know, I'm having fun watching her just continuously every week get better and better. And, you know, I hope we never break up, but one day when she has her own like singles run, I have no doubt that she's going to be a women's champion for a very long time.
Sweet. Don't make me get emotional.
No, it's true.
Was there a moment, Lash, where it clicked in for you, where you were like, "Oh, this is," because you came into WWE with no wrestling
Right.
experience. You had an
Yeah.
incredible athletic experience, and you had size and look, and you had
What
all
else?
this
Just
stuff.
keep hyping me up. That's right. No, I'm just kidding.
But you didn't have the wrestling experience, and I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, that journey was televised. Anybody that's watching
Right.
NXT was seeing
Yeah.
you come in completely fresh and just watching you improve and improve and improve to the point now where I feel like multiple times with you on the main roster where there's a moment to be made, you're the one who's making that moment. Like we just talked about pinning Rhea Ripley. That's a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you feel like there was a moment where it clicked for you where you were like, oh, this is what it is. This is where I belong.
Yeah.
I get this.
Well, I will say when I got the opportunity to try out, I was like, man, like, first off, I didn't even know that I would be able to do that. I'm like, what? Like, I have an opportunity to try out for WWE. Like, growing up, I watched it and I thought it was so cool, but, you know, I just didn't know that it was an option for me. So when I got that opportunity, I'm like, heck yeah, like, you know, I was about to go overseas for basketball because that was, you know, that was what I was doing and loved it. But, you know, I just couldn't, I couldn't not take advantage of this opportunity. So I ran with it and I, you know, told my basketball fam, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And when I got hired, I was like, dang, it really is bye-bye basketball, just like that. And I fell in love with it during the tryout, during the first time I ever touched the ropes, getting all these bruises, taking these bumps, you know, doing all these things that I was never familiar with. But I loved it. And it was just something that was challenging, but I felt like, you know, yes, I'm new to this, but everybody's new to something at some point. So I believe, like, I will be good at this one day. You know, it's just going to take time. It's, you know, coachability that all comes from my basketball background, doing all these things and, you know, student of the game, like Nia said. So I believed it and I felt that I could do it when I got the opportunity and tried out. And I feel like maybe like 3 years in, it really, really clicked. Like, you have phases of like, oh, I get this. Oh, I get this. Oh, I get this. But I feel like it really, really clicked for me about 3 years in at NXT.
Yeah, and I feel like that's like one of the great parts of NXT being a television show is that you can kind of see that coachability, right? Like you hear that word when people like me are watching documentaries about wrestling and about places like the PC, but you can watch somebody improve. And sometimes you can see it, and I think that this was the case for you, Les. You could see it week over week if you're actually watching, going like, oh, wait, and then all of a sudden one day comes where you're like, oh, she's really good at this.
And I'm still learning. You know, it's never ending of like wanting to keep learning things. But I totally.
And I
feel
always
that.
think that being called up from NXT has to be the right timing for everybody. Like there's always timing for people, right? Like if Lash would have come up a couple years ago, I don't know if she would have had this, you know, like meteoric run. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it might have been different for her then. And now I think she might have been at NXT for 5.5 years, but it was the perfect timing for her because now like she's gone up so quickly, like immediately she just blends in right away. Like this was perfect for her. And the aggressiveness of my girl, I don't know if you ever know, she's like the Dennis Rodman on the female basketball court.
Yes,
you know, the person who's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame.
That's right. That's right. Shout out
true.
to Dennis.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you remember what the journey was like for you, Nia? I mean, you've been on the main roster. This is your second run now on the main roster.
Yeah.
You've been here and accomplished a lot. But those of us that have been watching for a long time know that you kind of went through a similar track and you went through that NXT system. Do you remember back then, what it was like and when that kind of clicked in for you?
Yeah. Well, back then it was so different. There was like only 13 of us girls. Like there was a very small pool of women and I was the biggest girl. And like, I just remember when I tried out, like there was no girl like my size. And then it was all like fitness girls and whatnot, you know? And I got called up to the main roster quickly. And so I was learning on live national television as I go. But I just feel like right now when wrestling's probably at like its peak and it's so popular and like, so I'm glad that I was able to like last and come back into this era because I feel as though I'm doing some of the best work that I've ever done because I feel more comfortable. I feel more like settled in the Nia Jax character and knowing what I can do and I get to share it with some of this like talent that we have, like incredible talent. I've never seen the women's division this stacked, like from NXT all the way up. So I'm just really like excited to be able to work with some greats over here.
I love that you pointed out that match that you two had in NXT because it was a moment for me watching as a fan. I believe I was texting you that night and I was like, oh my gosh, like Nia and Lash against each other just opens this whole world of opportunities for women's wrestling because Nia, you pointed it out, when you came up, there was no one on the roster that was your size. Now you have someone like Lash, brings the size, the strength, the athleticism, and it's not just Lash. You look up and down the roster and the size and strength and what these women are able to do in the ring is so much more than it was maybe in other eras. How do you think that helps grow what the women's division offers in terms of matches?
Oh, I mean, like you witnessed a little bit in NXT, right? Like we, like, who knows? We could break the ring, like we could tear the house down, and it, you know, you see incredible matches from like the smaller girls, but then it also gives them a different dynamic with a bigger, you know, more bigger women, not just one big woman. There's like multiple big women with different kinds of, you know, specialties, and so I like the fact that we're a tag team, like two of the biggest, strongest girls are together. It only just creates more opportunities for everybody to come up against us and see what they can do. And listen, the day that you see these two big ends go at it on the main roster is going to be incredible. You know, little Kane, Undertaker. You know,
I also love how you say it so confidently too. Like when I say, I don't want to call either of you like a big woman, but when you say that, like you're so confident and like you love that.
It's a compliment.
Listen, I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of because we're built big. We're built, you know, other people aren't, unfortunately. Some people, unfortunately for them. No, but we,
I feel like that was a direct shot at me.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
did that.
I literally looked right at you. You know, we're just built big, you know?
Yeah.
But we embrace it because, you know, there's beauty in what we have. There's beauty in what other women have. And why not? And like, I know Lash, like, is with me on this. Like, we want every single young girl, every single woman watching to know that, like, hey, look at these girls, like they do it and like they freaking go out there and they look great and they own it and why not give them the confidence,
right? And I just love like how Nia, like you said, you know, this is her second run, but like I feel like she has been wanting to give back so much and pay it forward, and I just feel like that matters because, you know, a lot of girls at NXT, we don't know like if, you know, the girls on the main roster want, you know, to help and help us move along. That it has to still have evolution. Like it doesn't just stop with, you know, one generation or one era. So I just think it's so amazing that, you know, Nia is willing to do that. Yeah, you try to say, oh, she got, you know, had other tag team partners. Yes, this is true, but it's the amazing part of it, like if we're being for real, is that she wants to help the young girls come up and do that. And I think that's so amazing and so much appreciated. Her and Natty, like Natty has a dungeon. Like it's so cool
Natty's
to
the
see
best.
that they want to help us, you know, because that matters. It really does.
I think Sam should get in the dungeon.
Yeah.
He would be
You
terrified.
think I would do well?
No, absolutely not.
No.
I think you would bomb.
See, I was worried.
I think a future Olympian would do well.
That's right. She would kill it.
Megan would kill it.
I was worried that people for a second were going to think that Nia was actually a nice, wonderful human being, but then you took
Well,
a
you were
moment.
nice when you threw that shot at our girl. Yeah.
That's
All
what
right,
you get.
listen.
Yeah.
And that's what you get,
Thank you.
Sam.
Yeah.
I was frustrated and I was backed into a corner and I felt
I got
attacked
the
and I
whole
lashed
season.
back.
Mhm.
I apologize. I apologize
Thank
for
you,
that.
Sam.
You better.
Is
As you
the
should.
Didn't feel
Well,
hurt.
I
felt,
did.
but
Okay.
Is this Clueless inspired, the gear?
Yes, it
is.
is. Look at
Good
you.
job.
You
You
did
get
great.
half a
You know
point.
what? We'll give you some kudos on that one. You know? Yeah. I like that.
Thank you. Is it just a love for the film?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Lash and I love to just like
Themes.
we love to do themes. We love now that we're tagging, we just want to match up and
fun.
get cute. You know, just because we're big and
have a
big
lot
and
of
badass
cooking.
doesn't mean we can't be cute.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
You better.
I agree.
No, but I'm glad that you pointed it out.
Yeah,
Have
good
you-
job.
Well, I love Clueless.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
if.
That's right.
As if.
That's 100% right. Have you thought about WrestleMania gear theming around what you could look like going into WrestleMania? I would imagine as
What kind
tag
of
team
question is
champions.
that?
Yeah, of course we do. Of course we do.
I thought it would lead into.
You don't get no
Well,
Details.
We're definitely not going to give any
Not
details.
nothing.
No.
You get nothing.
It'll be a nice little surprise.
Yeah.
My interview trick didn't
Gonna be
work.
the bomb.
Was that a trick?
That was terrible.
It was just it was a
Go back to the
mental-
drawing board.
Yeah, try
Go back to
again.
the drawing board.
Trying to play 3D chess with that one.
No.
Not great?
No.
Oh, stick to checkers.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say
Yeah.
that.
Stick to
checkers.
checkers.
Yeah. No, it's a good lesson to learn.
Oh my goodness.
Well, congratulations.
Hey, I have those shoes.
You do?
I do.
Look
I
at
rock them
that.
better, but
Great.
they're nice
I was
shoes.
about to say great minds think alike. I was going to get one. She got me too
She
quick.
got
Yep,
you.
just, I
Got me a
didn't want you to
little
get
too
too
quick.
comfortable and
I
think we
told
were
you.
buddy
Secret of the
buddy.
game.
You
Secret of the
know?
game. She knows.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, congratulations.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Megan.
Thank
Congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you.
You're the bomb.com.
And,
Girl
um,
power.
I'm
Thank
doing
you.
great. All
Are
four,
we?
just
I
four
said girl
people doing
power.
Are we all doing great?
Four people
I think
doing
three of us are.
Yeah, no.
living
But,
in
you
this
know.
era of
I mean,
greatness together.
these like women right now are
Yeah.
killing it.
Yeah. Women rule the
Sam's
world.
here.
That's right.
You know?
You know?
Who are
I
the world? Girl.
I certainly am.
Yeah.
I certainly am. Thank you so much.
No, thanks, Sam. I
course.
appreciate it. Thank you so much,
Thanks
Megan.
for being a
Yes.
good sport.
Big thanks to the Irresistible Forces. Now, before we take it a step further, I do want to remind everybody that WWE World returns to Las Vegas this April 16th through the 20th, and it's the can't-miss destination during WrestleMania week. WWE World brings the WWE Universe closer than ever to the superstars, legends, and iconic moments that define WWE, with immersive exhibits, exclusive merchandise, and experiences you won't find anywhere else. See superstars like Drew McIntyre, Liv Morgan, Jey Uso, Dominic Mysterio, Tiffany Stratton, and many, many more, with even more appearances still to come. Tickets are now on sale at WWEWorld.com. Save 10% with promo code WWENOW10. And Megan, I didn't mean what I said about you in the trials. I was
Thank you.
in a vulnerable position. I was backed into a corner. I sometimes lash out. It's a flaw of mine. I'm aware of it. It is what it is. I think you're going to do great in the Olympic trials.
When I make it, you know, just shout out to all the haters with you being number one.
Okay,
So,
well, that's
you know
not-
what? That chip on the shoulder's growing.
All right. Well, that's not the best way
We
to
all
accept
need
an
we all
apology.
need a fuel to our fire. So thank you. I appreciate it.
I wonder if Stephanie McMahon was the fuel to the fire that Cody Rhodes needed in his match with Randy Orton, and segues like that are why they call me the last professional broadcaster. That was incredible. And you guys know that wasn't planned, was it?
No, it was not. It was
Were
not
you? Are
planned.
you in awe? Okay, that's three people.
I wonder if Stephanie McMahon is the one on the phone with Randy Orton.
Okay, okay. I wrestling is more than one royal family.
And as soon as that music hit, we all go, "Oh my God, could it be?"
So Cody Rhodes comes out to start Raw, which is already a surprise because Cody Rhodes is SmackDown superstar.
Yeah.
And almost immediately, Stephanie McMahon's music hits. And we're like, what is Stephanie McMahon doing out here? I knew she was around. I thought she was just in, taping some episodes of her great podcast, doing something like that.
She's about to go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, maybe
It's a great
checking out
time
the
for
show.
stuff. Yeah.
But no, she came, and she came with absolute fire at Cody Rhodes. And it was, man, I'm watching Stephanie McMahon in there. And I didn't want to interrupt her. But in the middle of her talking, I wanted to start chanting, "You still got it." Do you know how much I want Stephanie McMahon back on my TV every week after that?
Of course.
I was like, it was unbelievable. Just the way she tore right in to Cody Rhodes' soul without even, she didn't even lift an eyebrow. It was just nothing to her. Just pointing out just that like the most vulnerable.
You're not your father.
Just why don't you just drive a stake through my chest?
And she does stare through your soul.
Oh my God, she does. And you're like, and there's something about Stephanie McMahon where you just look at her and you go, I just want your approval. But I just want your approval. Like, I feel like if Stephanie McMahon ever did something like that to me, I'd start yelling, it's not fair when you say that stuff, Mom. It's not. What did I just say? You know what I mean? It's that energy where it's like, and she would just look at you, go like, I knew it. I am disappointed in you. And you're a puddle. She's incredible. She says, Cody, you can't beat this version of Randy Orton. You want to talk about where you came from? And then she brings up her past. She brings up Madison Square Garden as the building that her grandfather brought wrestling to. There's so many people to this day in New York City that when you tell them you're a wrestling fan, talk about going to Madison Square Garden every month to see Bruno and to see Andre the Giant and all those legends that Stephanie's grandfather brought to New York City. And then when she says to Cody, you're not your father, it's just like, whoa, lady, whoa. You've chosen violence, and Stephanie has this way of looking at you going, this is what I've chosen. What are you going to do about it? What on earth are you going to do about it? She slapped Cody Rhodes across the face.
She did. And then Cody Rhodes, I couldn't even believe this. The buttoned up, dapper gentleman that Cody Rhodes always is, as Stephanie McMahon went to go walk out of the ring after shoving the microphone and making that wonderful thud sound that I just love in professional wrestling. Cody grabs Stephanie's arm. Cody put a hand on Stephanie McMahon?
You're right.
What?
And you're right about him looking dapper. You're right about him putting hands on Stephanie. You're right about, I mean, the whole building went, whoa, when he said that. But Cody has also never lied about who he is. Cody has said from the beginning he's a messy king, but a king nonetheless. And that messy king is the one who immediately looked at Stephanie McMahon and was able to come. I mean, if she had said, you're not your father, it'd be like, I need to go home and cry. I don't know what to say in response to that. And Cody was able to look right at Stephanie McMahon and say, with all due respect, neither are you. And it was just like, whoa, we're doing that?
We're bringing that up?
And and that's when the slap came. Because it's like, who do you think you are? Do you think? Because then he did grab Stephanie McMahon and he looked at her and said, thank you.
I have 2 words for you.
I have 2 words for you. And I did, that's why I yelled. I did yell, suck it. I did yell that. I was on the floor,
and all of the garden.
I did. Yeah, we had to.
Yeah.
We had to. I mean, we grew up yelling it. We didn't even know what it was. We grew up yelling it, though. But it wasn't suck it. It was
thank you.
Thank you. Which did get some boos from Madison Square Garden, but that's because Madison Square Garden is the type of crowd that wants to
suck it.
Suck it. You know, that's what everybody's looking for. But I left questioning. Do you think that Stephanie McMahon really went out there to just give Cody Rhodes the pep talk that he needed? Or were there other motivations?
I think Stephanie's on the phone.
You think she's the other royal family? You think she's the person that Randy Orton's talking to? Oh, you saw that. I mean, it adds up.
I loved this interaction for so many reasons. I was listening to you on the Not Sam Wrestling podcast this morning, and you were talking about Randy and Cody and how we've heard from Randy and the physicality, and that's been unbelievable. But you were saying how you wanted to hear a little bit more from Cody. Well, for me tonight, this was the extra layer that I really needed. There were a couple times on Friday Night SmackDown where I thought we were going to find out who was on the phone with Randy Orton before he got cut off by Matt Cardona's music. I was like, he was just about to tell us who's on the phone.
Thanks a lot, broski.
What is going on? Then we see him backstage again. He's on the phone. We didn't get a lot of that conversation, but this is just like the carrot dangling.
Yes.
Why else does Stephanie McMahon's music hit?
I was surprised. I was surprised.
I mean, I've seen all the rumors. I've seen Ric Flair. I've seen Arn Anderson. Ted DiBiase Jr. There's been so many different rumors.
There's a ton of them. I mean, who knows? It could be anybody. It could be, but realistically, Stephanie McMahon being the person. I would love to know, if that were the case, where Stephanie's coming from, because that's what I was thinking watching the thing tonight. Where is Steph actually coming from? Is she that? And if she is trying to get out there and tell Cody, hey, this version of you can't beat Randy Orton, why is she invested in it? Why if it is just a wake
Because
up call
Cody's
for Cody,
QB1.
and she wants to
Cody's
protect
their
that?
guy. She's part of the royal family, right?
Theoretically, I suppose. I don't know. It left me with more questions than answers for sure. But it did leave me realizing, like, yeah, Stephanie McMahon still got it. Like, that was unbelievable.
Amazing.
And I would love to hear what Randy Orton thought about that whole thing as well.
And maybe we'll get that on SmackDown.
Speaking of Stephanie's, we were mentioning it earlier, but Stephanie McMahon answered Liv Morgan's
Stephanie Vaquer.
Stephanie Vaquer.
It'd be wild if Stephanie McMahon,
Stephanie
oh my
McMahon came
gosh.
out.
Again?
Yeah, put her in every segment.
Why not?
I'm fine with it. I am absolutely
Yeah,
fine
it'd be
with
great.
it. But it was Stephanie Vaquer coming out, which makes a lot more sense because that's Liv Morgan's WrestleMania opponent.
That's right, yeah.
She came out because Liv Morgan, I believe the quote was, tu madre es basuda.
Puta.
I wasn't going to say that word. That's not a family-friendly word.
That was a quote.
I mean, it is part of the quote. I was going to just throw an ellipses on the end of it. You know what I mean? Just so people know the quote continues.
I'm very direct.
You are, and it's actually, it's a strength of yours.
Thank you.
But it was too much. Tu madre es basuda was enough to get Stephanie Vaquer out there beating down Liv Morgan. But we got the return of Roxanne Perez.
Yes.
A lot of people were walking in going, Liv Morgan's going to be on her own. The Judgment Day is going to be defunct, they said. They said defunct by WrestleMania. I don't see any signs of that.
I don't either.
I don't see it. We're getting closer and closer, and I don't see that for the Judgment Day.
It's really
I see Stephanie Vaquer having to deal with all of it.
It's really such a testament to the Judgment Day. I mean, you think back to the Royal Rumble and how Liv Morgan eliminated Raquel Rodriguez. They've never been stronger or better than ever. There's been a lot of drama with what's going on with Finn Balor, yet still the Judgment Day finds a way to continue to be a family.
Yeah, and I think that now Stephanie Vaquer might be figuring out
And
the
rally
truth to deal
around
with
Liv
it.
Morgan. Really.
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. So we found out tonight that two other members of the Judgment Day both have matches at WrestleMania. 4 more matches announced for WrestleMania. So first of all, we've got the Women's Tag Team Championship match being defended by Nia Jax and Lash Legend, who
Yep.
were just in here. They're going to defend against Bayley and Lyra, Alexa and Charlotte, and the Bellas. Which, again, brings up to your point that you brought up earlier about a Hall of Fame team that they're looking down the barrel at, but also 2 different members of the original 4 Horsewomen in here. Lyra Valkyria, who has been looking to have that truly breakout moment and hold on to that moment. And then, of course, Alexa Bliss, who, while maybe not a member of the 4 Horsewomen, still part of that OG NXT women's division that laid the foundation for all of this. So massive 4-way for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Like we said earlier, Seth and Gunther is graphicked and confirmed for WrestleMania. You got Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio now confirmed for WrestleMania. And then we heard Penta announce that he was putting his Intercontinental Championship up in the sky. It's a ladder match. And I mean, Penta has spent a career making incredible moments in ladder matches. This could not be more perfect. But this is a 5-way. He's in there with J.D. McDonough, Javon Evans, who, by the way, both of them. J.D. McDonough, because he will survive and do anything.
Oh my gosh, an OG cutter in that ladder match.
Javon Evans, because he will do things that a human being shouldn't be physically able to do. Rusev, because he can physically break a ladder on his own. And, again, Dragon Lee, who can do incredible things in a ladder match. That's the 5-way that we're getting for the Intercontinental Championship. Massive challenge for Penta. So you got JD and Dominic Mysterio, both with WrestleMania matches. Last year, you doubted Dominic Mysterio. Very much so in the Intercontinental Championship match. He did it, and it was one of the loudest ovations on both nights of WrestleMania. And even you, hater of the year, Megan Morant, can't deny that. Can you?
It was pretty loud.
It was very loud.
I think the return of Becky Lynch was a little bit louder, and there were actually fans like crying of joy, happiness, excitement.
It was a great reaction for Becky Lynch, and then she proved who she was.
She's the greatest female wrestler of all time.
Well, she got very booed after that.
Yeah.
Very much booed.
Not by me.
But, well, not by
A
you.
lot of
That's
people
good to know.
a lot of people
That's
were
good to
cheering.
know.
Dominic's been booed many times.
I had not noticed
by a
that.
lot, by
but,
a lot of people.
But,
Like by entire arenas.
well, you know what?
Booed without even respect.
There's really no accounting for taste when that stuff happens. But, how does Finn Balor recover if he can't beat Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania? Finn Balor got beaten out of the Judgment Day. I would argue WrestleMania is a place where Dominic Mysterio shines. You know, is he undefeated at WrestleMania? No. We all have an off night or two. But he's been a part of multiple massive WrestleManias. And even when maybe he doesn't win at WrestleMania, he has these spectacular entrances.
Yeah.
You know,
Unforgettable.
I think about it. He made a moment at WrestleMania 41 by winning the Intercontinental Championship. Was it WrestleMania where he fought Rey Mysterio? Was that 39 or 40?
39 in Los Angeles.
When he came in the police car, right?
it
One
was
of the
fabulous.
greatest WrestleMania entrances ever. Dominic Mysterio knows how to make WrestleMania moments. This is Finn Balor's shot. Either he beats Dominic Mysterio and he goes on to be better than he was with the Judgment Day, or he loses to Dominic Mysterio and he's just I don't know what he does after that. I think he's got
How can you get anybody behind Balor Club?
if you can't beat the guy that beat you out of the Judgment Day.
That's right.
It's going to be a wild WrestleMania, but Megan.
But you know what else is what's going to be pretty wild and exciting is WWE fans experiencing the excitement of ripping Topps card packs with the instant gratification of having your collection conveniently on your phone.
What?
WWE Slam by Topps offers fans around the world the chance to collect and trade their favorite WWE superstars, rip new digital packs every single day, complete collector-based missions and seasons, and combine cards to craft them into rare digital collectibles. The app even offers in-app challenges where you can win Topps WWE hobby boxes, full cases, graded cards, and more just by ripping digital packs. Here's your chance to build the ultimate Topps WWE digital collection featuring iconic Topps designs, original artwork, motion cards, and so much more. WWE Slam by Topps. Download free now in the App Store and Google Play.
You know who has a WWE Topps Slam card? Megan Morant.
That's right. That's right.
She's got her very own Topps card that you can.
Do you have one?
No. Actually, Jason Kelsey got a Topps card before I did. And I don't mean an NFL, I mean a WWE Topps card.
It's a little tough.
Before I did. That's
tough.
where. Have you ever met anybody that got a Times Square billboard before they got a Topps card? I don't think that's ever happened
Nope,
before.
I
I don't know why these things happen, but they do happen. You know what I'm really glad happened?
What's that?
Monday Night Raw,
Me too.
Madison Square
It was a
Garden.
great show.
This has been absolutely incredible. This road to WrestleMania, unbelievable. And the fact that we got to stop here in the world's most famous arena and record our podcast here live, experience the whole thing live, has been awesome. I felt like a proud papa, okay? Because Danielle, who works with me, she came. This is her first WWE show ever. She's never watched wrestling beyond one segment, and she showed me on her arm after the main event. She had the people's goosebumps.
Ooh,
She had him.
She's
She
in.
had him.
She's in.
She had him. She's in. We got her. Appreciate you guys hanging with us. Don't forget to subscribe across all audio platforms. Leave comments. Hit like on YouTube. And we will see you again very, very soon here on WWE Now. Have a good one.